Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In a twist so explosive that even longtime Sister Wives fans weren't prepared for the fallout, the Brown family universe has been thrown into absolute chaos after Kody Brown's latest truth bombshell detonated across social media, interviews, and whispered leaks from Flagstaff insiders who claim this may be the most destructive moment of the family's entire history, even bigger than the divorces, even bigger than the Coyote Pass catastrophe, even bigger than the infamous pantry fight, because this time the walls came crumbling down not from accusations or speculation but from Kody himself, who allegedly confessed to a long-buried secret that immediately sent shockwaves through Christine Brown's peaceful new life with David Woolley, forcing the couple into a jaw-dropping big reveal of their own that no one expected and that threatens to reshape the entire narrative of Sister Wives going forward. According to sources close to the Browns, Kody's bombshell didn't come out in some orchestrated TLC confessionals, but rather through a series of off-camera conversations leaked by individuals who claim Kody has privately admitted that the end of the family wasn't just about incompatibility or wives leaving, but that he had been hiding a deeply personal truth for years. A truth that allegedly explains his erratic behavior during the pandemic, his sudden emotional collapse after Christine announced she was done, and his spiraling fixation on loyalty, obedience, and what he called spiritual alignment, a term fans have since debated endlessly. This secret, according to the whispers, involves a revelation that Kody no longer believes in the original spiritual foundation of plural marriage, that he not only abandoned it emotionally long before Robyn entered the picture, but that he questioned the belief system itself while still demanding his wives' sacrifice for a lifestyle he no longer fully supported, an admission that, if true, would paint the entire family's suffering in a chilling new light, because it means the unraveling wasn't just about jealousy or financial strain or emotional neglect. It means the patriarch himself was living in spiritual conflict while expecting the wives to hold everything together. But what truly pushed the story into firestorm territory was the timing. This alleged confession surfaced just days before Christine and David revealed their own bombshell, a revelation that came not from scandal or betrayal but from a place of fierce honesty and transparency, a stark contrast to the secrecy that had defined Kody's rule for decades. Christine, glowing with her signature newfound confidence, reportedly announced during a closed-door event for her wellness community that she and David had gone through a major internal struggle over whether to share something deeply personal, something they had kept quiet not out of shame, but out of a desire to protect their peace from the storm of public judgment. But with Kody's truth now shaking the foundations of the Brown family story, they felt compelled to be open, to give fans clarity in a world swirling with speculation and half-truths. Their big reveal? That David, far from being just Christine's calm and loving new husband, had become an anchor in a journey that went far deeper than television ever captured, and that Christine's emotional healing had led her to confront past trauma she had suppressed during her plural marriage years. Christine confessed that she had endured emotional control, patterns of neglect, and spiritual manipulation that she had never fully spoken about publicly, choosing instead to focus on positivity. Yet behind the scenes, she and David had been navigating the aftershocks of that trauma together, working with counselors, faith leaders, and personal support circles to rebuild her sense of self. The reveal wasn't about scandal, it was about Christine reclaiming her voice, but fans immediately connected the dots between her honesty and Kody's confession, realizing that the very belief system Christine once defended had crumbled inside Kody long before the divorces split the family apart. But the drama didn't stop there, because as soon as Christine and David's reveal hit social media, Robyn Brown reportedly had a meltdown, insisting that Kody's confession was being twisted, exaggerated, and weaponized against her marriage. Robyn, who has been repeatedly blamed for the destruction of the family, allegedly told insiders that she felt blindsided and betrayed by the narrative being spun, insisting that she and Kody were still aligned spiritually and that any interpretation suggesting Kody stopped believing was unfair and misleading. Yet multiple sources claim Robyn has been privately furious with Kody for admitting anything at all, fearing that the public will interpret his doubt as proof that she was the reason the family fractured, a perception she has fought desperately for years to escape. Meanwhile, Mary Brown, the first wife who clung to spiritual marriage for decades only to receive nothing but abandonment in return, is said to be experiencing a mix of vindication and sadness, recognizing that Kody's confession explains years of emotional absence, years in which she felt blamed, sidelined, and erased while Kody quietly drifted away from the faith foundation they had built together. And then there's Janelle, who reportedly laughed, not maliciously but with an exhausted sense of clarity, because she had long suspected that Kody's emotional disconnect had roots deeper than relationship conflict, sensing that something spiritual had fractured long before Christine left. Fans have now begun to debate whether Kody's truth bombshell was an act of cowardice or courage. Was he finally being honest after years of denial, or was he attempting to rewrite the narrative to absolve himself from responsibility for the damage done to his wives and children? And what does Christine and David's reveal mean for the future of Sister Wives? According to insiders, Christine's confession may appear in future episodes as producers scramble to reshape the show's arc now that Kody's leadership has been publicly undermined. The Brown children, too, are said to be processing the revelations with a mix of relief and resentment, many of them questioning why their father kept such a monumental crisis of faith hidden while imposing rules and punishments on the wives during the pandemic, rules that now appear hypocritical in light of his alleged spiritual collapse. What makes this entire saga even more shocking is that Christine and David's reveal has reportedly opened the door for deeper conversations about the emotional toll of plural marriage, not from a perspective of blame, but from one of truth and healing. Christine is said to be working on a new book or documentary-style project focusing on reclaiming identity after leaving a controlling marriage structure, and David, ever the steady presence at her side, has apparently encouraged her to speak freely, no matter how uncomfortable the truth may be for certain parties. Their reveal was not meant to destroy Kody, but to liberate Christine's story, yet combined with Kody's own confession, it has created a narrative collision that fans cannot look away from. Some speculate that this may finally be the breaking point that ends Kody and Robyn's marriage, while others believe Robyn will tighten her grip even more, terrified of facing life without the man she believed God told her to marry. Meanwhile, Kody has allegedly retreated emotionally, feeling attacked from all sides, insisting that he never meant for his private doubts to become public ammunition, yet refusing to clarify his statements because, according to sources, he is still unsure what he truly believes. In the end, what makes this moment so monumental is not just the drama but the cultural shift. Christine and David's big reveal is grounded in healing and transparency, while Kody's truth bombshell exposes the cracks in a belief system that held the family hostage for years. The contrast between the two revelations highlights the emotional evolution of the Brown family and forces fans to confront the uncomfortable possibility that everything we thought we understood about their dynamic was built on a foundation already crumbling beneath them. As the dust settles, one thing is clear. The Sister Wives universe will never be the same, and this truth bombshell, paired with Christine and David's courage, may be the moment that finally dismantles the mythology of Kody's patriarchy once and for all. And just when fans thought the chaos had reached its peak, more layers of Kody's confession began to unravel, painting a picture far more complicated and tragic than the simple narrative of a husband who fell out of love with plural marriage. According to yet another insider, someone who reportedly interacted with Kody during the hardest days of 2021, Kody's spiritual crisis didn't happen overnight. Instead, it was the result of years of internal conflict hid behind bravado, anger, and increasingly rigid demands for loyalty from his wives. He allegedly confessed that he began questioning the calling of plural marriage as early as the family's Las Vegas years, long before cameras captured the explosive unraveling in Flagstaff, but because he was terrified of losing his position as head of a large, spiritually driven family, he buried those doubts deep. This admission sent shockwaves through fans who remembered how Kody blamed Christine, Janelle, and Mary for being disobedient, disengaged, or disrespectful, even as he himself struggled silently with the very foundation of the lifestyle he once preached with fiery conviction. For Christine, this revelation hit especially hard, not because she needed validation, but because it proved that the pain she endured wasn't just circumstantial, it was systemic, rooted in a belief structure Kody no longer supported, while still expecting her to live under it. But Christine wasn't the only one reeling. David, the man who swept Christine into a fresh chapter of love and emotional safety, reportedly revealed that he had long suspected something deeper was amiss with Kody's behavior. As someone outside the polygamous culture, David found the emotional dynamics of the Brown family concerning from the start, but being respectful of Christine's past, he kept his opinions quiet until she was ready to reflect on her own experiences. Now, with Kody's bombshell detonating across the media landscape, David has stepped further into the role of protector and truth ally, encouraging Christine to embrace the healing that comes from confronting, not avoiding, the past. Their big reveal, once seen as a personal confession of emotional recovery, now stands as a direct counterweight to the secrecy that defined Christine's decades in the Brown family. Fans have praised David endlessly, seeing him not as a replacement for Kody, but as a symbol of the calm, stable, emotionally present man Christine never had during her years in plural marriage. Meanwhile, as the truth spreads, speculation grows that TLC producers are scrambling behind the scenes to reframe the entire narrative arc of Sister Wives. With rumors already swirling about season 19 being the most candid, unfiltered season yet, insiders claim producers are debating whether Kody's confession should be aired in full, an unprecedented moment that could either redeem or further destroy his image. Some producers see it as a ratings goldmine, the kind of raw vulnerability that could bring sympathetic audiences back to Kody, while others worry it could damage the family beyond repair, pushing the already fragile relationships between the ex-wives and remaining children into deeper estrangement. One source even claims Robyn has threatened to stop filming altogether if Kody's confession is twisted to make her the villain again, which she reportedly believes fans will inevitably do, regardless of context. And then there's the impact on the children, particularly the older siblings who lived through the hardest years of the family's decline. Several of them have allegedly responded to the confession with quiet anger, feeling that they spent their childhoods walking on eggshells under a spiritual framework even their father didn't fully believe in. Some are said to be furious that their mothers were blamed for not being committed enough, when the truth is that Kody himself had already detached from the lifestyle but refused to acknowledge it. Others feel relief, finally understanding why the emotional climate of their household shifted so dramatically over the years. A few have reportedly reached out to Christine privately, expressing gratitude that she and now David have become voices of honesty in a story built on secrecy, control, and fear of disappointing the church and community. Robyn, however, remains at the center of the storm, insisting that the media, the ex-wives, and even some of the kids are exaggerating Kody's statements and twisting them to fit the narrative that she broke the family. Sources close to her say that Robyn has grown increasingly paranoid, worried that the confession will be interpreted as proof that she trapped Kody into monogamy or manipulated him emotionally into abandoning his spiritual beliefs. But fans familiar with Robyn's patterns are skeptical, pointing to years of moments where she dismissed the other wives' concerns while positioning herself as Kody's spiritual anchor, something that now appears ironic, given that Kody's confession suggests he had spiritually drifted long before Robyn became the legal wife. Whether she's responsible or not, Robyn's fear is palpable, and her emotional reactions behind the scenes are said to be intense enough that even Kody has been overwhelmed, struggling to manage her emotions while dealing with the fallout of his own vulnerability. As for Meri, she stands at a crossroads. For years she tried desperately to hold onto a marriage that was spiritually symbolic but emotionally non-existent. Now, hearing that Kody's spiritual detachment began long before he withdrew from her, Meri reportedly feels both heartbroken and liberated. Heartbroken because her loyalty was given to someone who had already stepped away from the belief system supporting their union, and liberated because she finally understands that the failure of their relationship was never her fault. Insiders say Meri has been quietly building a life of independence, success, and personal rediscovery, and Kody's confession may be the final emotional severing that frees her from the guilt she once carried. What makes this entire saga so riveting and so tragic is that it exposes the human cost of a lifestyle built on belief, sacrifice, and unwavering loyalty. Kody's confession doesn't just reveal his personal crisis, it reveals the cracks in the entire polygamous system that held the Browns together for decades.